Hello, doing another wee Q&A thing where you ask me in questions and try and make it as light as possible and just try and have some fun with it. So see you soon. Come and have a watch. David Galbraith, what comes first, the melody or the lyric when writing a song? Well, that changes all the time. Depends. Sometimes you might have a title floating about your head. You think to yourself, okay, right, I'll part that one up. And sometimes they can live inside your head for years until a piece of music might come along and it'll spark that. So I tend to have lots of titles floating about, and then they usually, they start me on the wee road to write the songs. And I think it doesn't really matter. Sometimes people come, when I'm writing with certain writers, they come with lyrics that are complete, and other ones that just need a wee bit of tweaking. So it depends. And it's just, it's just what the song feels. Sometimes the feeling of the song or the chord progression that you're playing around with, I'll conjure up images. And sometimes I like just to improvise around a few chords and see where a stream of conscience might take, when you're singing, and certain little turns of phrases will come out and you think, oh God, that sounds like the start of a wee story. So I hope that answers your question. Good question. Oh, push button. Next question here, Liz Burns. Liz Burns. Skinny fries or chunky chips? Very good, very, very, very important question. Me, I'm quite partially a crinkly cut chip. I know it's a bit radical. Always liked that wee texture. That's something a wee bit different, crinkly cut chips. I always remember at my mammy's house, we had this kind of, I don't know what it was. It was like a wee kind of, it was obviously a blade of some sort, but it was crinkly. Funny enough, crinkly. Built it myself, and you kind of put it down on the potato and it made a crinkly cut chip, and I loved that. And I've got, there's nothing better than homemade chips. My father made a good chip. He was the captain of the chips in our house, and every now and again would say, my ma say, we're having chips tonight, and we'd say, hey Dad, can you make the chips? He did that, and every Sunday he'd go and get the Sunday papers and return and make us a full breakfast. Great days. So Liz, I'm a crinkly cut chip man. Hope that answers your question. Joyce Williams. Hi Joyce. Hi Marty, my question, when you go to restaurants, are you a starter or a main course and pudding? Well, it depends. If I'm super, if I'm starving, really hungry, then I go the full hog. And I like to, I've a bit of a confession here. I'm a bit of a, oh, can I try that type guy. You can finish that, because sometimes, I order very quickly, and some of my friends are always like, take ages over it, and you're like, oh, come on, let's go, and, so I kind of always order pretty quick, and then I'll go, oh, I wish I'd ordered that, so I always have a tendency to scan everybody else's plate, so, yeah. And pudding, love a pudding, love it. Like a banoffee pie, quite partial to banoffee pie. Apple tarts, quite sweet toothed. So, I'm always quite partial to a wee bit of pud. Hope that answers your question, Joyce. Yeah. Next question. Elaine Anderson. Hello, Elaine. Just thought of a question. Good. During all of your time in the entertainment business, has anything scary happened to you when you've been on tour? And what's the funniest thing that's ever happened whilst you've been on tour? Well, every time this one springs to mind. Madison Square Gardens, playing with Elton John, and we got invited on stage to sing along with him, and I was wearing a kilt at the time, and I was singing away. Saturday, he's playing on the piano, and I'm kind of reversing of him, and then I remember falling over the wedge wearing a kilt. And we all know what a Scotsman wears underneath his kilt. It's a pair of shoes. And so, yeah, that was what a night. Great days. So, Elaine, I hope that answers your question. And the scariest things, well, life on the road is scary. Especially if you stay up late. Steve Kelly, good man. Be great if you could answer this for me in the next Q&A. Okay, here we go. When you go to Memphis, what particular music venues do you like or visit? Well, there's loads of them there. I would say if it's your first time going there, go to Beale Street, because there's plenty of live music there, and there's always a great live act on there, and that's what makes that whole street ping. You know, obviously BB King's place, and you know, there's absolutely loads of great venues. So Beale Street, up and down there of an evening, very good, very good. You got favourite place you like to go? There's a lot of eating places here, a lot of eating questions. I mean, I think if you're looking for barbecue, then I think Rendezvous's best ribs in Memphis. Though some people say Porky's, but you know, I like to go to a place called the Half Shell, which I've always been a big favourite of mine. And right across the railway tracks, there's another place very close by there, which escapes my mind at the moment. But if you're looking for a great steak or anything like that, go to Folks Follies, which is probably the best steak in Memphis, if you're that way inclined. Great food. I like southern food, you know, and the whole way it's presented, you know. So I love that. And Steve, take care. Be safe. Dot Little. Hey Dot, how you doing? Hey Marty, love your daily videos. Met you many a time at a stage door. So my question is, how do you feel when you arrive to see fans waiting for you, and after the show, where there's many more? Love seeing you in my hometown of York. Love York's beautiful city. That's a great question, you know, because it never ceases, you know, amazes me sometimes, you know, when you come up to a gig and you'll see people waiting there, with, you know, pen in hand and smiles on faces. You know, that's special for me, you know, it sets you up, and I love to see the enthusiasm when you're coming to the show, and how you're excited to see the show, and what songs will you be playing tonight, and you know, is this going to be in the set, and that's great. And then after the show, to see you too, you know, with your smiles once again, and you know, and seeing how much you enjoyed the show. So it's positive for me. And sometimes when you get there and it's like pouring rain and it's extremely windy, I go, oh man, you're crazy. But as appreciated, you think to yourself, oh, you must be freezing. So try and get it signed quick, and then say, right, go and get yourself a wee cup of tea or whatever it is, or something stronger, as the case may be. But yeah, it's lovely to be greeted with a smile, absolutely, every time. And don't take care. Angela Collins. Hi Angela. My question, if you decide to get a dog, what breed would you choose? Oh, I love dogs. That no. Animals in general, but dogs always hold a special place in my heart. And you know, what breed do I like? There's so many. There's so much choice, and you know, I love the Shih Tzus, and you know, and the smaller dogs. I love those too, because they've always got great characters. You know, I love the English bulldogs, and you know, you get all these breeds that you see that are very, very popular and stuff like that, and you know, like the wee French bulldogs too, and they're awesome. I like a Labrador too. You know, hey, look, what can I say? When you know, I love them. I think they bring you so much joy, even in times when you're just sitting, and they'll come up and, you know, and just hang with you, you know. So, you know, that's what I love, and especially when you come home of an evening, you know, you come home and, you know, it's like, there you go, wee fella's there at the door, you know, and you think, great, love it. Yeah, so yeah, dog person every way. And you've got a wee picture there of your Cherry, a cockapoo. That's got a cute face there. How do you do the Cherry? Yeah. Kim Martin says, hey Marty, hey, I hope you're not ignoring me. Hope you're not ignoring me, typical man. Yeah. My question is, what superpower would you like to have? Fly, every time. Love that. And I love it, and sometimes, you know, like when you dream you're flying. I always remember them fondly, you know, as a kid. You'd wake up and you'd think, oh my God, you know, that was so powerful. And you remember it, you know, because you know, I love it when you dream, and you wear a dream all day, you know. It sits with you. And some of those ones that always spring to mind for me are definitely flying, and you know, that's fantastic. So I get my superpower, yeah, you know, flying. I love that, typical man ignoring me. All right, Kim, that's a good question. So yeah, fly. invisible, super strength. Yeah, it goes on. I love all those kind of like Marvel movies too, you know, when you see all the superheroes and you think, oh, that's a good one, that's a good one. I'm not too sure about the whole lizard look though, but well, you know. Eh. Susie Q. Hi Susie. Hi Marty, a question for you to answer on your recessions. Did you enjoy school? Did you bunk off and did you have a crush on any of your teachers? Yeah, that's a good one, eh? Yes, I may have had a few days off school. Yes, but I mean, yeah, I loved school. I loved it. You know, I loved primary school, and you know, I loved the going to school to see your friends, and you know, yeah, and I did bunk off quite a bit, especially in you know when you kind of get to like you know 13 and 14 and 15 and 11 and 10 and but yeah that you would get to see your friends and hang out. I often think fondly of school and have great memories of it. And I had some incredible teachers who must have the patience of a saint to put up with me, you know. And there was some teachers that really helped me and inspired me no end. And you know, so I tip my hat to that. I had a great modern studies teacher, Mr. McBride. His name was. He was such a lovely man, and always encouraged you, had a smile on your face, and was always pretty positive, you know, because I was in one of these schools that, you know, was massive. There was thousands of us. And, you know, it must have been incredibly difficult sometimes in some of the classes that I was at with some of the lads I grew up with. Anyway, so I just did have a crush on any of my teachers. Well, yeah, there was an English teacher, a couple of English teachers who were absolutely stunning, and it was always a pleasure to go to their class. Always a pleasure. So I think, yeah, I think I'll always remember my school days very fondly. Brilliant. Hey, if your kids are watching, younger ones, when you go back to school, no bunking off. Donate. Oh, Don at on one or something. I don't know. It's sort of like everything's all jammed up and I can't break it up. You need a wee bit of pet hate there. Anyway, Don, right? Here's your question. Very important question. In your opinion, are Jaffa cakes biscuits or cakes? Yeah, I know where you're coming from there, but it's a biscuit. Yeah, definitely a biscuit to me, in my world anyway. And there's a whole art form to eating them, isn't there? Yeah, I believe so. You know, biscuits. What are you? Favourite biscuit? What was my favourite biscuit? I can always remember going to one of my friends' houses and they had like fancy biscuits, you know, like the Cadbury's ones with the silver paper and stuff like that. Oh. Tunnocks tea cakes. Now, Tunnocks tea cakes in Scotland, yeah, they're kind of nice. They're, you know, I'm quite partial to a wee Tunnocks tea cake. But if, you know, I'm sticking the kettle on, having a cup of tea, what would I gravitate to? Definitely Vicky Sponge, Victoria Sponge, old school. Love a bit of Victoria Sponge. Biscuits wise, I like a bourbon biscuit, Jammy Dodger. I loved the size of a wagon wheel back in the day. But I don't really know. There was, you know, I thought that's you know, get a big bang for your buck there with that biscuit. But nah, not really. I love trifles and yeah, well, sweet tooth all the way. My dad loved these biscuits too, and I liked millionaire shortbread, stuff like that. My ma had a friend that she used to work with in the schools. Daughter name was, and lovely lady, and she made millionaire shortbread and used to give it to my mum for me and my brother, and wow, that was a treat for us. And I still every time I have a bit of millionaire shortbread, I think I do. And yeah, great, lovely. And a very important question, Don, not in one. Anyway, take care, bye. Jim McBride. What's your take on haggis? Yeah, I know what you're saying there. I know. Well, haggis. Yeah, based on a dare, you go first. I like haggis. I really do. I really do. And I think it just growing up, we always had it. And that black pudding stuff like that. I guess it's the west of Scotland thing that you would have a bit of haggis, fruit pudding. So I always hold it dear to my heart, and so does it. The vegetarian haggis, I've tried that a few times. I quite enjoy that. Quite enjoy that too. And I think it's the Burns night and stuff like that. It's always it's always a good time. And my grandfather was big on Robert Burns, and so Rappy Burns, the Bard. So yeah, haggis. Yeah, and Scotland, haggis, neeps and tatties. You've got to try it at least once, even as to say you've tried it. So good luck with the haggis when you try it. Linda Spalding, what do you wear underneath your kilt? Are you a true Scotsman? Yeah, there's that question pops up again. Yes, like I always say, the only thing a Scotsman wears underneath his kilt is a pair of shoes. And I love kilts, I really do, and I love wearing them. I really, the older I got, the more I wanted them, and I have a good collection of kilts. And my favourite kilt maker is 21st Century Kilts. Go there, great choice, and very inventive in their design and their choices of material. Good man, 21st Century Kilts every time. So I just love them. I find them a great talking point too. People stop you in the street, and ask you what you wear under your kilt. But so many compliments on it, and so I'm very proud of wearing my kilt. Love a kilt. So, question. Brian Dunbar, will you ever play Ronnie Scott's again? Great set, mind seeing you there. Love to play Ronnie Scott's again. I love those smaller venues, the intimate venues like that, where you have the audience completely, like in the palm of your hand, hopefully, if you're having a good show, and that intimacy where you can really, see the whites of their eyes. But there's something special about that when you feel people that closely as an artist. And it's a wonderful venue, Bonnie Scott's, I like to call it. I remember the first time I played there many years ago, and being super excited about that, really made up about that, and saying to my mum and dad that I was playing Ronnie Scott's, and they knew that venue, and so that was a big thing for me, to one of the tick lists, the certain venues in the world that you adore, and yes, you always have a good night in there. So I would love to play Ronnie Scott's again. It's just an institution and one to be cherished. So yeah. Hopefully, maybe see you there. Yeah. Oh, and I like it. There's another smaller gig, the Stables, as well. It's a wonderful gig as well to play there. It's such a, it only holds a few hundred people. Maybe 300 tops. But it's as smaller, those smaller intimate venues go. It's fantastic, and I've always had a great evening there, and well looked after with the audience. And so I'd love to play there again. So. Yeah, good question. Ta-ra.